favor this map, and it really could be anybody's game here. We're already seeing it well underway. Just look at like that fast push even down mid already. Oh my goodness. Bit of a tag, bit of a ping, information already very much aware. It looks like it's going to be a apartment hit here for Pippi.
Oh, it's going to be fast for Pippi too. Early shots combined. Kato good for one, but no, everybody else escaped below. It's going to leave Jen in a very precarious spot. She's good for one, but across from the back, there we go, holding down the line. Vanessa is going to find herself the last alive for the first round this series. Now, I'm not too sure who the substitute is or how the results went. Hopefully, though, team chemistry for OSADÍA, we have to keep an eye on that, right? Just in case there were any changes. But Vanessa here.
No, not below. Actually. It's Namita. No. Namita was the one able to join back in, so we're good to go. Good. This is the OSADÍA roster.
That's good, the full roster. That means they're prepped up. You know, they have that adrenaline. Not sure they're going to have their full stack. It's all pumping through their blood right now. It's showing from round number one. Vanessa's really using the 45 seconds she has left to her very, very liberally here, but she is going to rotate on over. She's spotted out. This might be a tougher spot for her to escape. So at this point, 35 seconds left. There may not be much of an option to escape, but she is going to push up. She's going to try to find at least one. Isolate the fights, but crossways, though. Bullet goes through the head. Round number one goes to OSADÍA, the full roster.
Yep, that was... I was like kind of thinking about this just because like we had that bit of a delay at the start. It looks like they were just like hungry and rearing to go, trying to see if they can take a bit of this advantage. I'm talking about Slade time, trying to take advantage of the chaotic, like getting into the server mentality that OSADÍA probably had to be dealing with, like with the stress of getting their teammate onto the server. Did not really work out for them. That was a full apartment rush. Looks like they're going to do another full barrel down middle, but it is a mow down on the side of Burbuja. I wouldn't say that
reminds me of what Emmy did yesterday, right? Almost the same exact play, but on an exit. And Pippi's going to find herself the last alive now. She's not really too far different from Vanessa, but she's good for one. Now it's a 1v3. A lot of damage early on, but in mid she goes down. 2 in a row for OSADÍA. And we haven't seen full rifles yet from Slay's side. I really think it could be a game changer for them if we see those rifles in play.
Absolutely. And we're looking to see even like that hero rifle coming out for the side of OSADÍA just to make sure that they get a bit of answer of that. Some FAMAS as well coming out. And I like the good utility buy that they have as well, balancing that out a bit. They'll have enough mollies and smoke grenades to try and slow down any of that push, as we're already seeing coming down here, as that full-on rush that was initially happening the first 2 rounds, not happening this time. Rifles are now in their hands, so there's going to be a bit more of that poke through the banana and see if we can get it down. But, oh, no, not even the spray down. Burbuja is the one that gets that kill.
Oh, Banana's still the way to go. Kato's going to push up, try to play contact off of OSADÍA there. Oh, no. Double slay, double kill. 3 left alive, though. Burbuja's forced back, spraying through the smoke. She can't find anything just yet, but that's okay. She can just play for time a little bit more. The bomb goes down, and now the timer's no longer in her favor. A body down for OSADÍA. And Slay, they're in their power positions now, all hiding each way, waiting for a single piece of audio. Anything at all to give it all away. And it looks like Namita will be the first. Lippy's ready. Or Sippy, excuse me. She's good for one, and the rest get taken down all in unison. Good rifle round from Slay's side. I think OSADÍA, they had some great holds, but that fast rush and just overwhelming B-side Sag, like, when you talk about in the pre-show, if you have a great execution like that on T, it can be very hard for the defense to rotate in time.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's a little bit concerning. Sure, the guns in OSADÍA's hands weren't as good, but they did still have that rifle over on B site. That was 3 of them anchoring that hold on B. And so it's a little bit concerning that even with 3 of them on that site, they still got overwhelmed, forced to fall back after getting the initial kill. So it's some sort of adjustment. Perhaps if they're not able to create like those angles after the delays, to fall back a bit, allow them to funnel allow Slay to funnel their way through. Perhaps there needs to be some sort of holdover on Coffin with a cross as well on the entrance onto site. Potentially could be a better play moving forward. But it's just like, I think the initial utility usage, they rely too much on the molly, and there was no. I just don't think that they were expecting that utility matchup on the side of Slade to come out, which it did. It was they initially removed any of the fire with the smokes and didn't even really have to throw deep utility, because all three of the players of OSADIA at the time were played forward. Not makes sense. They had their MP9s or something up close, so you want to create that matchup, but. Looks like we're having a bit of a match pause here because the game once again crashed. So we're trying to sort that out for you. But looking into this next round, Keg, I'm curious to see if OSADIA sees that information where they have a lot of bodies from Slay. Curious to see if they're going to put any value into putting someone aggressive to try and pinch her that sooner rather than later, versus letting Slay get onto site first before any rotations are made. It's a bit of a risky play, right? But high risk, high reward, perhaps, is maybe the gameplay here.
I could see the next 2 rounds in a row going for OSADIA, just pushing extremely aggressively, right? You have the eco round here, so you have at most Deegs and pushing through aggressive. Then whatever you talked about in the timeout during the crash, right? If you want to change things up and play the tempo more aggressive, maybe Slay won't expect 2 rounds in a row to play very, very fast compared to before. But it looks like, though, we did see that aggressive push in the beginning. It died off quite a bit, though. Now Slay are going to take advantage of the situation, push forwards, take a little bit more map control. Veda, though, she's going to be the first to make contact. Good for one, gets traded out. And now Namita, all the pressure's on her, but no longer any pressure at all. Babuja, the onus goes back onto her, and she loses the fort. Her and Jen trying to retake now on A site. There's very little room to move around. Fatigue in her hands, though, and Babuja in front. The boost goes up. They spot out at least one. Is that going to work through the smoke? No, it's been caught out. No spray through, though. Surviving a little bit more, Sajidine. Sorry, I'm very hiccupy today. But luckily, though, don't have to see any other things just yet. Just waiting to see how this Molly plays out. Jen just barely hiding away. Oh, she's playing off her life so well. Kato, though, good for the trade. Jen did eventually fall, but from behind it's Blender. And no, Kato can't do much. She's got to run away. She didn't even procure any other weapons. She's stuck with a Deeg. But a lot of eco damage.
A lot? Yeah, it could have been worse given the lack of rifles on the side of OSADIA. And I almost I'm curious, perhaps not just realizing, right? We have the God view, we're able to see where everybody is, and just perhaps having someone wrap around to the other side or head towards the little cart, perhaps could have helped in getting more of a pick off, perhaps even getting all the kills, even if they're not going to get that bomb defused. But we're seeing a bit of presence. Yeah, a lot of spray down right here over an alt mid, and that is still not too bad of a trade.
All right, well, there's the aggressive play we talked about before. Nevada, it was good in the beginning, but as soon as a pick came out, as soon as the trades occurred, they all dialed back on OSADIA's side. And Slay, though, they can make up for lost time. They can push up here, throw a weird timing off for OSADIA. Veda, though, again. Oh, she has to dial herself back. And the smoke's hiding it again. A lot of OSADIA comes down to respecting utility in this post plant. Slay go for their power positions again. We've seen this before. It was only a few rounds ago. Only difference this time is that Sippy's playing far back on site. She's not pushed up on Banana anymore. That's all down to Blender. And she's pushed up, and luckily she can be in a powerful spot to take people down. Sippy good for one. Oh no. It just keeps going. She's a sentry turret now. She's taking on the new role. Jen could remove the op potentially, but no. Galley comes by in time to save the day, and Slay, they just barely managed to take the lead now.
Yeah, that was unfortunate that there was not that much utility on the side of OSADIA for that retake, because we were seeing it as far as just being able to if you had an HE or a Molly to throw into the back of site, that would have damaged 3 of the players of Slay that were just sitting there.
Oh, Blender, nice!
That was beautiful. And this is a massive spray down middle because there's no guns on the side of OSADÍA, so they're just kind of like running through, but manages to take out 2 in the meantime. And that's another
all
round.
That eco damage. Just, yeah, it's all really important.
Yeah, and I talked about this at the beginning as well, is that op coming out into play now, having that mid control, and even like the initial first pick, right, where you make that adjustment. Maybe not so much as a factor in the pistol round, the save round that happened that time, but now you know there's going to be an op at hand. Perhaps Slay are going to want to try and play a little bit cheeky, continuing playing up the entry ramp, or if they want to try to see if they can contest anything over an alt mid in the apartments, that's also definitely a play. But something that OSADÍA needs to be careful with, because this happened to them last time, is they got a bit distracted by the alt mid play when everybody else was already pushing down B. So have to kind of keep that in mind as far as just making sure they keep their comms clear and keep everybody well informed that, hey, that's one, the rest of the team over here, rotate over.
Oh, Sippy was almost in trouble, but she's able to escape. And now Barbuja, she wants to push up, she wants to take that control. Banana's been such a powerful spot for Slay to take, but she's able to push up and sneak around the smoke, Sajidine. Oh no, she calls the bluff, she dials herself back. Might make things more dangerous for Namita, though. The flash goes through. She's not prepped in time. She's caught off of timing. It's Jen. She's on top of the apartments. She has to barely escape, blended in with the wall. Oh, no. She's able to do it. She's good for 1. No one realizes that in time the damage has already been done. Gloop, so much damage against her, but Barbuja, she's wrapped all the way around the smokes, obscuring her vision so much. No, that's a Molly instead. She can't even push up anymore. 1 by 1, OSADÍA fall again, Sajidine. And leaving it up to 2 left. And Barbuja's at the 6 HP. Their eco isn't looking good. They have to save their rifles here in order to keep things afloat and not be a full eco. And Slay, they're doing such a great job just removing bodies and making sure that eco is pretty much in the dirt.
Absolutely. And their utility usage as well. Like, I'm going to be like the broken record talking about utility just because we saw Barbuja like trying to push down Banana, ate that grenade and had so much damage. Pretty much at that point, you're so handicapped, it feels very difficult to play the way you'd feel comfortable playing, you know? And Slay, they're just absolutely taking advantage of it. They're just going to be sitting right there in the canals and just doing their thing. But that's definitely something that OSADÍA has to be careful with. We're now, if anybody knows any of that smoke lineup, trying to smoke at the up, down mid, very important that they get to do that now, not just throwing, or perhaps not even giving them the cross, because it's Slay on deck here to make something happen. They're the keys. They need to get onto a site, and it's all up to OSADÍA to try and stall for as long as they can and play the time.
Same play as we saw before. Same opening. Barbuja again tries to make sure Slay early on cannot push that far. And Vivana gets 1, right? But then Gloop double and Vanessa and 1 after that. This contention in B Banana has not worked at all for OSADÍA. So Kato finds herself by herself, but Namita's on a flank, could pinch in the rest of Slay. And Kato, she has to hold her down the 4. She's unable to do so. And the last 2 alive for OSADÍA. They're going to push by, go through the same route Slay did themselves to get onto the side, go for a full flank. It's been read into 2 by Slay. So 2v2, it's one of the closest bouts we've seen so far. So far, all the cards lay in Slay's hands. I'm really excited to see what Jen and Namita can conjure up here. The flash goes over the door, over the building. No one reacts, though. Doesn't flash out anybody. They run in. Trade abilities not quite well. It is there a little bit. But Gloop is there at the very end to defend the bomb. I really like what Slay is doing for these post-plant holds, but OSADÍA, they keep contesting against Slay, right? To make sure that Slay is going to have to take at least 1 fight to get onto a site, but each time, Slay just overwhelms all of OSADÍA, pushing up 1 by 1.
Yeah, it's a bit of a timing issue, I feel, is what's happening here. I can understand why there's that push down banana, especially if you have a teammate that is essentially attempting to flank and pincher for you on the other end. Unfortunately, they kind of everybody got caught at the same time, because even if we're on camera seeing one of OSADIA fall, we actually saw the rest of her teammates like fall all at the same time. So it's not that great. And when you're doing that push in banana, as we saw earlier, it's hard to set up a trade in that sort of angle and position unless you kind of have to die for it to happen. But even the Deagle not going to find a kill. Finally will. So that's a good
I gotta
pickup.
say, like, these eco rounds for OSADIA have worked really well compared to their rifles. Like, they're playing so much more timid. Like, Kato found that opening headshot too, and well, Slay does what they do best, but at least here, right, we see some weapons. Well, they were picked up. Never mind now. Oh, even more removed. Oh, shut my big caster mouth up. Veda, prove me wrong. Oh, no. I mean, again, eco round found a lot of damage against Slay. I would say their eco rounds for OSADIA have been probably some of their best rounds we've seen so far.
Yeah, I think it's because they've been creating the sort of battles that you should expect when you have short-range guns in your hands. Like, they're playing like closer to the walls, closer to the corners, waiting for Slay to push up before they actually contest. Whereas when you have something like this, again, we're seeing this again. That was a headshot. That was a good, that's a good pick off here, and the constant push. So that's a good double kill on the side for OSADIA so far. This is the first time we've seen that B hold actually like really work out in their favor, forcing the rest of Slay to fall back.
The smoke grenade there was a great icing on the cake. Forced Slay to push in. They got a horrible shotgunny surprise. But I don't see any smoke util really at all on A here. We're starting to see it come out now. It blocks off Kato. That's a strong start for Slay. It's Jen who's out in the open, nearly takes down Galley, but instead Galley finds that final shot. And now a 1v1 on A site. Things are looking good, but again a 1v2. Blender falls, and OSADIA, they found their groove again. That's really good. I like the holes we saw on B. But I'm afraid that we might just see a full-on A rush this time from Slay.
It's a doable. I think it's going to come down to, we have an op, I think, is going to be playing on both sides of the map. One over down mid, and then another over in banana. So those are going to be very, very important pickoffs if they can find them. And we're already seeing a bit of a difference of change here. You said it. Like, this A hit is what is looking like right now. We're seeing bodies over an alt mid, going to push through already over onto the arches. So OSADIA, they're... Oh, that's almost could have been. I don't think I was expecting everybody there.
No, that was a jump scare if I've ever seen one. Kato's in a great spot, though. Okay, her and Gloop, good for some damage. I'm sorry, Vanessa and Gloop, good for some damage. Yeah, unfortunately, that hold near spawn didn't quite work for OSADIA. Good up back sight, though. Gloop falls. There's still one more. Babuja has the wrong angle. All three have escaped by. The reposition, though, is going to be it. Oh, a game ender there for Babuja. Still two left alive, though, for OSADIA. Have to play that retake again. We've seen what happened before last time. It was some trade potential getting near Fountain. This time, mollied off allows more time for the plan. Galley, though, hiding behind Coffin. The double push from OSADIA. They have to make this work. The utility usage is there again. The flash, whatever utility that may be, doesn't quite find, but the up seemingly out of nowhere. Taking one skull off. Jen does get traded out. Does allow more time for Namita to push up. She's not aware of backside. Sippy comes in seemingly out of nowhere. And now Slay are just looking so fantastic so far this half. And OSADIA, they didn't quite read into that aggressive A take.
No, and it really caught them off guard, where instead of leaning into that rush and just kind of barreling everybody down, because I don't think either team really expected those initial picks and getting caught. But Slay were just the ones that managed to make that quick adjustment of, oh crap, they're over here, time to shoot. Whereas the fallback from OSADIA, I think, was very, very costly for them.
These rounds are so aggressive too. I've never seen such an aggressive early game before. Already, a double kill has occurred. 2 members of OSADÍA have been lost. This allows Aveda, though, to hide in the apartment window. She attempts to find some action, but Vanessa, she took some damage. Well, no, Gloop took some damage, but she got avenged instead. And Gally, same occurrences happened to her on Banana, all running away to A. Luckily, though, there's only 2 left alive, and the gamble is there. Do you want to go against the 1 HP or the 100? Now, it is Babuja with the 100 HP. Slay has gambled wrong, but they have the bodies to overcompensate for it. And now Namita with 1 HP, the last alive. What's she going to do here? I mean, it's a doable situation. Look at the HP for 3 out of the 4 members of Slay. A perfectly good, timed, well-positioned spray could do so much wonders, but Namita.
I don't think you could sneeze on Namita right now and she'll probably fall.
Yeah.
Like 1 HP in a dream.
The stars would have to line up perfectly for her to clutch this out, but it's by far too late now.
Yeah, and I mean, they're hunting.
I mean, she's at 1 HP. Anything will take her out. Someone's just looking at her.
I know.
Oh, Namita.
Oh, this could be a thing.
She tried to hide.
They found her. They
very
found
last second.
her. Yeah. So we're looking at, like you said, this very, very aggressive play right now from Slay. We've seen their aggression over in Banana already, even like, prioritizing a lot of presence over in alt mid, and kind of the same thing right now is you have to be so careful making that cross over at mid, because that always seems to be such a detriment for OSADÍA to lose someone that early. And right now it's going to be another save round for them, and you've talked about this earlier. Perhaps they could do a lot of damage this time just because it really does adjust the way they play. Oof.
Oh no, but there's an extra element of this mid-round aggression. The early game round for OSADÍA's Eco worked out fantastically for them, but this mid-round, just waiting too long and executing, once Slay have already found which site they want to dedicate themselves to, does feel a little mistimed, but A site's been lost. And Babuja and Videta, we've seen the same story before. She will push up here. Oh no, she's gonna wait. Gonna try to play off audio. Maybe wait to see if anyone lurks up. Again, it's an Eco round. Double Deegs in the possession of OSADÍA. Good for 1. Oh, but Viveda falls in the process, nearly finding 2. Double digits now for Slay. And again, this is looking like this could be a flawless Group B for them.
It's been such a rough economy for OSADÍA as well. I mean, that's definitely one of the frustrating things when you're on the CT side, is having to spend all your money on your guns and your armor and then your utility, and then oh yeah, you gotta buy a defuse kit, all of that stuff, and they're hungry. And at least like they got these trades this time around with the DA forced to fall back here, but numbers advantage on the side of OSADÍA. They just need to be very careful here that they're not going to get overpowered or get caught off guard once again, just like that.
Oh,
so that's a good trade. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I did like the trade. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that was a really good trade. And now look at this. Blender doesn't have really much protection. She does have Vanessa peeking with her. It's still the opposite expensive investment. Blender, though, she has so much money to work with. It won't be the worst deal in the world they go down here, but power in numbers. The 2v2. Big advantage for OSADÍA has now been lost. Never mind. It goes in Slay's favor. OSADÍA, they had what it took, and now look at this. Only now rotating from B to A. Coming from behind a single angle that Viveda could work with here. She has to choose whether or not the enemies could be in front of her or directly to the left. Could be a gamble of the two. Immediate peek of 1v1. This could be Viveda's chance to bring it back in a 4th round for OSADÍA's side. She tries to look for the pre-fires. There's a smoke nearby. The bomb she has to defuse, but no! Picking up the AK again. The op has gone down. She retrieves it once again. And Slay, despite the numbers disadvantage, Sajidine, Slay still brought it back.
I mean, you hate to see it. The number advantage on screen was in favor of OSADÍA. It was a 3v2. 4v3 at one point, I think. And at the 3v2 situation, OSADIA just gave Slay everything that they wanted. 3 2v1s that went the other way. It shouldn't be like that, you know, and you kind of have to pay the price for it.
It's just a mow down again. I mean, hey, last time we saw 2v3, it was in OSADIA's favor, but Slay won. So maybe now with the numbers disadvantage, OSADIA could win. It depends what Viveda can do here. She sees one. Oh, well, I guess to her only one cross. She didn't see through the smoke. Bomb does go down, though. Leaves Kato the last alive. Same exact retake angles as last round. It is actually going to be slightly different. Different doorway. It's already smoked off. That's where we saw the attempted retake last time. I'm watching, though. Watching Galley. She has the perfect angle on Kato here. No one checks. Right around the corner. 12-3. That's one heck of a half for Slay's favor. Already flawless in the groups and looking to continue the score.
I guess we'll find out how things are going to shift around if OSADIA can climb back up at the half. But we'll be right back after this break.
We'll never be enough. Hungry, and I can't quit. Oh, wait, I'm gonna be the one to be tested. You are, I'm unstoppable. Give me peace of mind. Ain't gonna stop until I get what's mine.
A dominant first half for Slay. Now lets them move on over to CT side as OSADIA fight for their life with only 3 points on the board, bringing themselves over to the attacking T. This is going to be a rough one, Sajidine, but you know, what you said in the pregame could reign true. A well-timed execute to throw Slay off could be the way for OSADIA to go to tie things up.
Yeah, it pistol round especially, you just go with that momentum. I like this full-on bum rush down alt middle, flushing out Blender in the apartments, forced to fall back. And I think there's going to be a bit of fake. They're going to try to fall back here. Oh, but it's been read by Slay.
Oh no. Whether it be audio, whether it be utility, anything else now, Barbuja's pushing forwards. Galley, though, there is a cross. Oh, from the church side. Sippy has to hide behind, though. She does have the USPS, but she can't find any headshots. And now Galley's hiding away. Again, this is a great overwhelming play from OSADIA. They need a round like this. They need to start getting that economy booming as soon as possible. And Gloop, she's surrounded. Blender can't help out necessarily right away, but Blender, maybe she can help. She's good for the double kill now, pushing by Fountain. One by one, the tactical execution's coming by. 2 left alive for OSADIA.
Oh.
They had the side take, and now they're losing bodies too quickly. Shadow could very well fall, and she does. Oh, what a great defuse.
That was the opposite of what we saw happen when Slay managed to get their way onto site and we're all sitting in the back. The difference this time around is that the utility forced to flush them out. So you either take grenade damage or you have to peek out and contest the shots. And that's what ended up happening to OSADIA. And that's just unfortunate. It's not impossible. They definitely could make a comeback here, but I feel like Slay's really feeling it right now. We're seeing 3 rifles already coming out. It's already found 2 bloods, 3 bloods, 4 bloods. My God.
It's already over. I mean, Slay are just in the zone right now, right? Like, they're ferocious.
Mm-hmm. They're feeling good. They're feeling confident. And these buys for the second round really paying off for them against the nothingness that OSADIA has.
Yeah. This could be a good opening pick, though. Oh, no. Stopped at the last second. That's okay, though. Keep in mind, though, this is Slay's map pick. So maybe this is just a, you know, not a great matchup for OSADIA, right? I mean, this is just such a good, well-versed map by Slay. We still have to see what OSADIA can bring out in map number 2, right? We're still a few rounds potentially away from that, but there's still a great contention that this could go to map number 3. I wouldn't count OSADIA out just yet.
No, this is going to be the rifle round for them too. So if they're able to get a couple picks this time around, burn through some of this utility, they have plenty of time still to play with here, and it just comes down to getting that execute going. It would be great. We're seeing this presence over in Banana, but the bomb seems to want to make its way over onto A site. That's numbers advantage, at least if they could test over there right now. It's going to be a 2v3, so still very doable, but just need to be careful about these angles that Slay are holding.
Very quiet now. Waiting for that solid piece of audio from either side to make that next move. The utility is there for OSADIA, but only for Viveda and Namita. There is a setup on B site, more utilities being thrown, but each time I feel like we've seen these aggressive takes on to B, it usually turned out to be a fake for any attacking side. That bomb still stuck in mid. There's 40 seconds left, Sajidine. Nothing just yet. No one wants to push up at all.
There's going to be an execute on the 30-second mark, most likely, as they go, and there's the call, so they're going to be pushing, running into crosshairs, but it's Hippie with the double. Oh, nasty.
Did you see Banana completely wiped out? It was peeled away. It's going to be Vanessa. She has to hide behind this brown box, but the damage may have already been done. Viveda's the last one alive. She's good for the double kill. She clears out A site, but the molly. Oh, no, it takes her out. That was a really good execution, too.
It is. It's the timing and the utility. But honestly, like, I have to say, as we get onto map point right now, one more win and Slay will absolutely dominate this. Slay is doing on CT side what I kind of wish OSADIA did, which is what I said, is play a little bit more passive. The pressure is on for the T side to make something happen, and they had to do it at 30 seconds and having to push through both the guns and the mollies and all of that stuff. Oh my goodness. See, even like this time around, the crossfire and the cleanup happening here on the side of Slay, and Namita on her own. Damaged to 40.
All right, Namita. She does have bomb. Does have a molly. Does have a grenade to work with. Not impossible. Wonder, something like a sniper waiting on top of an apartment building. The utility is thrown. She has an approximate idea about where she could be next. But Namita actually rotates back to banana. Now, keep in mind, as she goes into banana, there was a rotate call for Slay's side to rotate over to A. A lot of rotates going on. And speaking of those rotates happening over and over and over and over and over again, it's actually with Vanessa to re-rotate back from B to A, back to B. Now it's a crossfire towards the fountain side.
And they found
What a way to end map number 1. Great Inferno for Slay. Well, for OSADÍA, we've seen a great performance from them on that map in the past, but Slay, they're flawless in their group. They want to keep it flawless. I'm really curious to see if we go, well, how map number 2 can go.
Yeah, I'm curious too, and I would say that kind of just take the lessons that you learn from this map as far as just like being a bit careful. It is Dust 2. So, and it's OSADÍA's map pick. I'm hoping that with that being